Hi there, and welcome to this session here that is titled Taking Action. For most people, the art of creating an idea and to be inspired is actually quite easy. But the most challenging part about having an idea, about being creative, is usually taking action. How many times have you tried that you have a great idea or you have a certain sensation that you want to create real, tangible change in your life? But as time goes, it might be really difficult to actually pull it off, and you find yourself letting yourself down in this situation here. You find it easy to get all the ideas, to get all the inspiration, but how do we actually take action? All of this is what we're going to take a closer look at in this very session here. When I grew up, I was really inspired, and as I became older and older, I still had a lot of ideas, passions and visions I wanted to create for myself. At the same time, I most often found it really difficult to actually turn all these dreams here into reality. To be completely honest with you, everything would begin with a certain vision. I wanted to create something great. I wanted to make a great change for myself in my life. But as time passed on, I always found myself at the very end not really doing anything about it, not really taking the necessary action. So I began to wonder, why is it that I constantly have all these visions here? I have all the intentions of creating great change. At the same time, I find it really difficult to actually materialize it, to actually turn it into reality. I began to analyze myself. I began to trace my certain thoughts. And what I found out as I was investigating my own mindset, my own way of thinking, was that although I had very good intentions and very clear vision, I also had very high expectations. That meant that I had all the necessary tools I wanted to be inspired, to be creative. At the same time, I had a very unrealistic assumption about how long my certain goal was going to take, about what I was actually capable of in the moment. I had very high expectations for myself. So if I had a certain passion, a certain dream about something I wanted to achieve, I was really passionate about it. But at the same time, I wanted it to be complete in this instant here. I wanted everything to happen right away. And as soon as I began engaging with a certain thing I wanted, as soon as I began engaging in the passion I had and whatnot, I immediately got turned off by the amount of time I had to put into it because my expectations were so incredibly high. And in this also lies the best technique that we can actively use. Whenever we have a certain vision, whenever we have a certain idea about a change we want to create, we need to create perspective and patience. We need to set our expectations at a reasonable level so we actually have a chance of pulling it off, of actually achieving what we're setting out to do. See, our brain is designed to have visions, it's designed to be able to be creative. But the only way that we can actually achieve the things that we set out to do is to reward ourselves, acknowledge ourselves for the small steps we take. So the best tip, the best technique that we can use in this sense here is to be reasonable with ourselves, is to set small steps and small goals along the way and allow ourselves to take baby steps towards our goal. If we try to achieve everything we want and the biggest change we want in our life in one instant, in one moment, we're going to get very disappointed with ourselves and with life in general. So make sure that you take small baby steps towards your goal. Make sure that you acknowledge yourselves for the small achievements along the way. This way here, you're still going to have your great vision at the very end, but you're going to find gratitude. You're going to find small rewards in your pursuit towards it. It's really important that we reward ourselves and acknowledge ourselves along the way. And by taking these small steps here, we stand a much better chance at actually get going and achieve our main goal in the very end. So today, as you're sitting right here, listening to this video here, watching this video session, ask yourself, what is the first step I can take towards the change I wish to make? What is the very first step that is necessary for you in order to get going? Not focusing so much on the end goal and focusing so much on where you want to go in the end right now. You have to have that in the back of your head. But in this moment here, focus on the very first step. See if you can be, once again, reasonable with yourself. See if you can be somewhat realistic. And when you reach this small accomplishment, this small goal here, truly reward yourself, acknowledge yourself for this step here. By doing this, once again, you're rewarding yourself and you're creating real positive change, which is going to motivate you and inspire you to take even more action. So make sure that the first step here is reasonable, something tangible you can actively do. Let's say, for example, that you're supposed to run a marathon. Now, if you're sitting on the couch thinking about, I really want to run a marathon, then the accomplishment you have to take in the beginning is very, very high. It becomes very unrealistic. So how about when you're sitting on the couch thinking, I want to accomplish a marathon? Ask yourself, maybe I can do a small walk around the block today. Maybe that's the very first step, and that's perfectly fine. You do a small walk around the neighborhood, come back and really reward yourself with something you like and acknowledge yourself. Maybe tomorrow you do 2 rounds around the neighborhood, and so on and so on. It's really great that you have your big vision in front of you, but once again, acknowledge yourself, have these small steps here, and you're going to stand a much better chance at succeeding and actually taking the action that you wish to do. So I know that taking action is a really, really big topic. It's not something that we can learn overnight. And it's something we need to practice again and again and again. Now you have a tangible method. But if you want to dig deeper into mastering yourself and be able to take the necessary actions you need to do in order to create real change for your life, I'm going to give away 10 free consultations on how you can take real tangible action. If you're sitting out there and taking action is a really big difficulty for you, feel free to reach out to me and the two of us will sit down in a personal video call and talk about exactly what you need to do in order to become better at taking action. This lesson here, this session here has been all about taking action. So do that now, reach out and get your own personal free consultation. Other than that, may you have the best day possible. See if you can take as much action as you possibly can. And otherwise, may just enjoy everything. Bye.